Yo, what's good, Gen Nation? Always love that ScytheX intro. Hell yeah, what's good, Spartacris? Spartacris, my bad. I got the friggin' show on mine. What's good, everybody? This is another podcast by the GGEN crew. This is the Multiversal podcast, episode 2. Very cool intro. Appreciate that, Butters. What's good? Yeah, so I kind of briefly want to say I said this was going to be a bi-weekly podcast, and I am sticking to that. However, me doing this episode now kind of puts me more in line to discuss the future releases in a more timely manner. Because last time I did one, we were already like a week and a half into the month, and there was releases that happened before the podcast even aired. So me doing this episode and then from here going forward every other week will keep us in line with timing and being able to talk to you guys about the releases and everything that's coming up. So I just want to point out a couple things before we get into the episode. And the first thing is we are officially on every podcast. I don't know about every, that might be an exaggeration, but we're pretty much on every podcast platform out there. If you don't know, we are currently sitting on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Player FM, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Google, whatever Ghana is. I've never heard of it, but we're there. Boomplay and Deezer. So if you consume podcasts on any of those platforms, simply search GGEN. You're going to find the Multiversal podcast. You'll find the Theater Room, and coming soon, Warped Minds and Whiskey, which is, I believe, Spartacris and One Shot. So stay tuned. My voice sounds sexy on Apple Podcasts. Hey, that's what I'm here to do, man. Amplifying our voices. But yeah. So if you subscribe to our podcast on any of those platforms, as soon as we're done with our live feed and it's on YouTube, that's the visual aspect of the show. Once those are complete, within 24 to 48 hours, we'll have the audio portion up on all these podcast platforms. So if you're not able to listen to or watch us live, if you don't want to sit through an hour and a half YouTube video, you just want to simply listen on your commute to work or commute home from work, or while you're working out, whatever, we're on those platforms, so look out for those. Also, real quick, I would like to just say we appreciate everybody listening, no matter where it is, Twitch, YouTube, and now our podcast platforms. It's cool. It's cool to see the interaction that we're getting from the viewers, and from, you know, comments we're getting on YouTube and just in general feedback. This has been it's a fun journey. It's a fun experience. And I think I can say for everybody, we're all having a good time doing it. So the fact that you're enjoying us doing it as well, it's perfect. So, yo, Captain in the building. But yeah, so we're on those podcast platforms. I'll make an announcement, like an official announcement on Facebook, and I'll kind of list like a bunch of links to make it easier to find. But again, if you simply just search GGEN, we'll pop up. So, and we do have merch available. So, being it's springtime coming, you want a hoodie or a t-shirt, perfect time to grab that merch, my guys. And yeah, so like I said, this is going to be a bi-weekly podcast starting now. We are now in line to accurately talk about the future releases in gaming. So with that being said, let's get into the first topic of the show. Let's do it. Shout out to all the viewers out there. We got Spartacris, Butters, and the Cat. And let's do this. So first, pictures of merch. I forgot to show it. There you go. Boom. Merch and merch. Done. First topic. Activision Blizzard. Apparently, Activision shareholders are suing. They are suing Activision, basically. They are claiming that the insiders, you know, the board of directors, they're negotiating the sale to line the pockets of the directors. So the shareholders, you know, they're losing their shares. The directors are just pocketing millions of dollars, and 2 lawsuits were filed. One in California and one in New York. And these lawsuits are gonna try to block the sale altogether. So it's gonna get spicy before Microsoft inevitably takes control of the company, because it will happen. These are just, you know, speed bumps. But it's gonna get interesting for sure. Sticking with Activision, they announced that COD 2023, because there's no title yet, at this point is being delayed to 2024. I think this is good. Developers, yeah, I believe the captain would be on par with this, or in agreement with this. Call of Duty is specifically the developers not named Infinity Ward, because to me, in my mind, Infinity Ward always seems to, majority of the time, get it right. They make the experience more enjoyable, where you have I'm drawing a blank on the developer. Damn it. They just did Vanguard. Vanguard and a company that did a Blackout or Black Ops. But basically, they always seem to like rush the game. They rush Call of Duty, and something always seems to break from year to year. And then it's like Infinity Ward's turn comes back around, and the game's fun again. We have, Modern Warfare. We have the weapons we want. We have, all this stuff. And then rolls around to the next calendar year, and boom, we're back into Glitch City and all this other bullshit. So I think the next game being delayed to 2024 is good. It should help them develop the game better, we would hope. And hopefully it just gives the game more attention to work out the kinks and the bugs, and they should cancel Call of Duty altogether. It is so repetitive. Sorry, that's how I feel. I mean, it's your opinion. I respect it. I will say so many games try and some succeed to, you know, have some success, but there's nothing more enjoyable than stomping people out in Call of Duty multiplayer. It just feels right. So I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, so 2024, that's going to be the follow-up game to this year's Modern Warfare 2, which is by Infinity Ward. Treyarch's a developer, by the way. I think pushing Call of Duty back, or Call of Duty to every other year, is smart. Sports games should do that also. Sports games, yes, but they capitalize on the excitement of the next season. You know what I mean? When are we gonna get a wrestling battle royale game? It's called the Royal Rumble, my guy. We just download WWE 2K and hit that Royal Rumble. But yeah, so sticking again with Microsoft, and you know, we'll just carry on. Let me jump to Game Pass. This is interesting, and I don't know if this is good or bad. It's probably good, but I feel like it's another issue that Microsoft is going to have to deal with. But Valve is open to allowing Game Pass to come to Steam. Now, what makes this interesting to me is are they putting all the Game Pass library on Steam? Because if that's true, then you're driving your PC customers away from your Game Pass application, which the Game Pass application is already driving people away from buying an Xbox. So you're just like further distancing yourself from your console if you do it this way. I could see where it's beneficial because there's way more people on Steam than Game Pass. Way more people. It's just, you know, facts. But again, at the same time, do you want people leaving your platform to play your game on a different platform? Or are they going to have Steam come onto the Xbox platform? It's not really, you know, nobody really knows yet, but it just opens the door for some weirdness. Dude, like Gears of War, they held it back a few times and always got better. Yeah, Gears of War is a great game. I will say Gears of War 5, I enjoyed much less than I did 4. That's just me. It felt, the open world portion of the game just felt weird. It felt out of place. Like it didn't need to be there. Gears of War 4 was like perfect. You just from mission to cutscene to mission to cutscene to mission to cutscene. That's all I needed. I didn't need to sand surf the dunes into some random areas for God knows how long. That's just me. Microsoft, they just want people to game on PCs. They don't want Xbox to be a thing anymore. Yeah, pretty much. It's like the console's there for people that just don't want to be on PC. But you could see from all their business decisions that they're just cannibalizing their own product. Eventually we're getting PS5 and Nintendo Switch. Maybe the Steam Deck as well. Getting as far as consoles, maybe. there's actually a topic that I forgot to add on here that I want to talk about, and your name just reminded me. So interesting is some news came out about Spartacus, which is a working title for PlayStation's Game Pass competitor. It's supposed to be the competition for Game Pass on the PlayStation side. I have a major problem because apparently it's going to cost a little bit more a month than what Game Pass Ultimate already costs. It's not going to include any day one titles. So if Horizon drops tomorrow, it's not going to be on Spartacus. You're going to have to buy it normal. And then maybe down the line at some point, it'll eventually pop up on Spartacus. Game Pass doesn't operate like that. And that's what separates Game Pass from any subscription service that's out there in gaming. If a new game drops, it's on Game Pass. If the game's available on PC, it's on PC Game Pass as well as console. The Game Pass product is Xbox's like prized possession, in my opinion. It's the best thing they've ever created with the Xbox brand. So for Spartacus to say they want to compete in that world and not offer day one titles, that's a hard no. I'll just stick to normal PS Plus if possible. Collect my free games a month and just continue on. Like, I don't need Spartacus if it's gonna just not be the same. I don't need that extra subscription price. It's just not worth it to me. I was reading that you'll be able to get day one drops, but that'll be a higher tier monthly payment. I read otherwise. I read you're gonna get day one demos. You're not getting the full game. And like, who wants to play a demo? Demos were cool back in the day on PlayStation 1. You get a cool demo disc and have like 7 games that are coming out and you can just kind of try them all. That ship sailed. Like, I'm not trying to play a demo. Give me the full game. So, I don't know. Spartacus is losing me with the news that I'm hearing so far. So far, it doesn't seem worth it. But yeah. So we'll see what happens with Game Pass as far as Steam goes. That's kind of it's kind of weird. If not, it isn't any better than PS Now. Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like, sure, if you want to add PS Now to my PS Plus subscription, I'll gladly take it. If you're not giving me day one games, then I'm not upgrading that subscription. It's simple. Game Pass is the only good thing for Xbox. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Game Pass is brilliant. Game Pass does not make sense financially for Xbox, but it's the best gaming deal possible for the players. I downloaded Halo as soon as that game launched. Gears 5, I had it. The Medium, I had it. Like, anything that dropped brand new on Xbox that had a PC version, I had it on my PC. It's fantastic. It's the best gaming subscription service out, hands down. Now, keeping it with Microsoft, there's news that they are beginning development on a Fallout New Vegas 2. Personally, I can't stand Fallout games. That's just me. I don't like them. I find them boring. But with that being said, I do know there's a large fan base for these games. I respect it. And I know this is something that you'll be excited about, because I hear Fallout New Vegas was one of the better of the Fallout franchises. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I've been seeing. So having Fallout New Vegas 2 start production, it's something to look forward to for you Fallout fans out there. I hope not. New Vegas was too glitchy. And there you go. There you go. But yeah, so let's jump to the new another set of news with a new game that's starting production, and that is our boy in Fallen Order. It's being reported that Fallen Order 2 is possibly dropping later this year. This game has been in production, from what we are being told, for quite some time now, and we should expect a trailer soon and an announcement on a release date. If this is all true, this is major, because Fallen Order is one of the best Star Wars games to ever drop. In all, there's been Star Wars games for years. This game is one, if not 1-2. Yeah, Butters, weren't we just talking about this the other day? Like, this game is so good, and if Fallen Order 2 is dropping this year, that's huge. It's gonna be, you know, it's probably gonna be around Christmas time, I would imagine. But I'm extremely excited, because the first one was, like I said, one of the best Star Wars games ever. My favorite games, if I were to rank 3 Star Wars games, I would probably do Fallen Order, Force Unleashed, and it's a tie for number 3 with Jedi Academy and Battlefront 2. Now you might be thinking, Battlefront 2. To me, Battlefront 2's story campaign was cinematic. It was such a cool story to me. You know, being the stormtrooper, fighting its way out. You're fighting your way out. You know, you're fighting against the rebels, and then you join the rebels, and you're running missions as Luke. You're fighting. KOTOR is easily number 1, then Fallen Order, then Jedi Academy. I never played KOTOR, so I'm excited for the remake, because it'll be my first experience into playing it. But for me, Jedi Academy and Battlefront 2 for the story, Jedi Academy for the multiplayer. I can't tell you the amount of hours I spent on Jedi Academy multiplayer. We had all kinds of clans just fighting each other in tournaments, and these are all lightsaber battles. Like, we had legit clan tournaments where it would be 30 to 40 clan members against 30 to 40 clan members in a bracket style tournament. And the best clan member of, let's say, my clan, whoever makes it to the final, goes up against the best clan member of the other clan, and boom, it would determine which clan was better. And then, like, you would have tournaments where it would, you know, every match was one clan versus the other, and it was just, we created such a competitive world in Jedi Academy. The experience to me was top notch. And then on the story side, it would be Battlefront 2. But yeah, I would say Fallen Order and Force Unleashed are 1 and 2 for me. All right, so the next topic. Kodar is the reason why I bought an Xbox. Respect. Respect. How dare you? Kodar is one of the best Star Wars, period. I mean, I didn't say. I said I never played it, and I'm going to when the remake comes out. It'll be my first experience with the game. So if I hate it then we can fight about it. But I have no say because I never played it, so it's not a favorite of mine. I don't know. But this next topic, probably gonna have some people upset, possibly. Before I get into that, honestly, let me just first go into the free games for March. Let's do that real quick. Let's knock that out of the way. We got some bangers. I feel like it's been a while, but we have some bangers on here. We have Ark, which quite frankly has a large player base, even still, and this game is years old now. Ghost Runner, which I was interested in playing for a while, I just never got a chance to. And the PS5 version is coming free, so that's dope. I can't complain about that at all. Sonic Team Racing, it's whatever. It's free, so if you want to have a Sonic Mario Kart battle, go for it. And then you have Ghost of Tsushima Legends, which is, I believe, their multiplayer for their multiplayer mode. So both guaranteed downloads for free. Hell yeah. I might check out the Ghost too if it's all multiplayer. Having, multiplayer samurai battles could be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. So I would probably say I'm downloading 3 of these 4 free games. Easy. So those are your March free games for PlayStation. I did check on Xbox, and honestly, the games didn't seem worthy of mentioning. There were like a bunch of indie games that I don't think anyone's ever heard of, so I'm not bringing it up. If you want to check it out, go for it. With that being said, now this topic. Okay. Now, in this picture that you're looking at, where does this remind you of how does this character remind you of Zelda? How? Because Elden Ring is being compared to Breath of the Wild, and it's blowing my mind. It's honestly blowing my mind. Nothing of this game, from what I've been watching and what I've seen, nothing from this game, other than it being an open world game, is remotely close to being anything like Breath of the Wild. You're soul stealing. You're fighting, it looks like one of the bosses from, I think, Ocarina. No, the Egyptians was like witches, weren't they? It was like an ice witch or something. I don't know. The point is, like, From Software games are nothing like Zelda games. Elden Ring is nothing like Zelda, specifically Breath of the Wild. They're probably saying that because of open world platform, but that's my point. Like, just Grand Theft Auto is a Zelda knockoff. Like, it's not. It's not. From Software games are the farthest thing from a Zelda game, in my opinion. It's crazy to compare the two because they're completely different. Just use your eye test. Like, just look at the game, and then look at, let's say, Horizon. And moving on, we're gonna go like this. If you want to say a game is Breath of the Wild, you would look at Horizon. Like, just think about it. Hear me out, okay? Your main weapon's a bow. Link's main weapon is a bow until, they get a Master Sword. And, Aloy has her spear. In Zelda, you're fighting, in Breath of the Wild, you're fighting rebel camps. In Horizon, you're fighting rebel camps. In Zelda, you're fighting guardians, which are machines. In Horizon, you are fighting machines. What's controlling the machines in Zelda? A red calamity. What's controlling the machines in Horizon? Red Hades. You climb in Zelda. You climb mountains in Horizon. You can glide in Zelda. You can glide in Horizon. You guys like catching, like, these are proper comparisons. And I'm not saying like Horizon is a carbon copy, so to speak. I'm saying Horizon, and like Spartacris is saying, Horizon is everything I want Zelda to be. That's factual. That's 100%. Breath of the Wild is a fun game, don't get me wrong. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But it lacked creativity. It lacked story. It had 0 temples. The puzzles in the what were those 4 monsters that you had to like do puzzles in to take down the shield of the temple? I can't even remember the name of it. Like, those were kind of cool, but they're not temples. Like, the best parts of Zelda to me were venturing into these, forbidden temples and getting a new armor or a new weapon that can be used for the boss fight of another temple or against Ganon down the road. Like, the Horizon story is just a million times better. The graphics are better, the physics are better, the quests are better. Cauldrons are better than the shrines. It's overall a superior game, in my opinion. It's not to say Zelda's not fun, and it clearly has a tremendous fan base. But my point is, these two games are extremely similar. It's Horizon's made off the formula of Zelda. Now, if you look at these two games side by side, where are you seeing Elden Ring in that? Other than, hey, I can walk from one side of the map to the other. And what else is pissing me off about this is Elden Ring is getting juiced in the review scores. It's getting juiced. I think it has like a 97, 98 score. And I'm not saying Elden Ring's not a great game. It probably is, because From Software makes great games. They're not usually my forte, but they're usually great games. But I feel like people are juicing Elden Ring because they're also review bombing Horizon at the same time, which makes zero sense to me. Why can't two great games exist? Why does me liking PlayStation more than Xbox mean I need to review bomb Elden Ring? I don't. If it's a good game, it's a good game, and I could play Elden Ring on PlayStation. It's not a big deal. Like, people are getting crazy. Like, for example, one critic. Now, this is a true story. One critic, if somebody ran a search on his reviews, okay? Every Xbox game that he reviewed had an 80 and a 90 score, between 80s and 90s. Every PlayStation game he reviewed were in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. You're going to tell me Spider-Man's in the 60s and 70s. Horizon, I think, was in the 60s. The Last of Us 1 was like the 60s or so. Like, you're going to tell me these great games that are recognized by gamers all over the world in your mind is crap because Xbox didn't make it, then the review scores for all games moving forward are just garbage. You can't trust any score. You can't trust any score. It's ridiculous. So, I don't know. It's crazy to me what's going on right now. It's just crazy to me. Elden Ring is nothing like Breath of the Wild. Horizon's not a 60s game. It's so far for me in the high 80s, 90s, low 90s.
You do not like music?
Oh, I love it. But where are the violins?
What is? I'm getting weird audio. I don't know what that audio was, but anyways, moving on. So yeah. Dude, no respect for Horizon. It is such a great game. I don't get it. People are bombing Horizon because Aloy isn't designed to be a supermodel type figure. Like, people are weird on the internet, man. People have these weird, like, things going on that are driving their scores. Whether you like Xbox, hate women, like whatever it is, you're just bombing a game just because. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. Horizon's in the high 80s, low 90s so far, and it could go up or down depending on how I progress, but so far I'm loving the game. The first one was fantastic. This one just betters everything the first one did so far. I'm not knocking Elden Ring. Like I said, it seems to be a great game. Everyone's enjoying it. There's also a lot of people quitting it because they're not realizing Elden Ring should not be your first From Software game. If you've never played Bloodborne, if you've never played Dark Souls, even Fallen Order is not a From Software game, but their fight styles, there's a lot mimicking a From Software game. If you've never played those games and you're jumping into Elden Ring, you're gonna have a bad time. It's just, you don't French fry when you're supposed to pizza, is what I'm saying here, people. Like, so it's kind of funny seeing people jump into Elden Ring and just getting destroyed left and right. and then quitting the game saying the game's trash. And it's like, no, buddy, you're trash because you don't understand what's going on in the game. You don't understand how to fight these bosses because everyone else has years of experience. They have years of experience playing From Software games. They know what the deal is, and you know what I mean? So between the juicing of the score, people quitting the game even though the score is being juiced. Apparently there's performance issues on all platforms. The game is refusing to reach 60 frames on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, no matter what graphics card you have on PC. Everyone's kind of waiting for a performance patch to happen. So hopefully that happens soon for everybody playing, because that's ridiculous on all consoles and platforms or whatever. The developer needs to really fix the game in that aspect. But to juice or review bomb a game because it's not Xbox or PlayStation, it's just crazy. Crazy to me. Elden Ring's not Zelda. Horizon's more Zelda than Elden Ring for sure, but Horizon's better than Zelda in my opinion. So I don't know. There's a whole bunch of shit going on. It's driving me crazy, and people need to calm down, relax. Just relax out there. You're driving me crazy. But with that being said, let's get into the main topic. Let's get into the main topic here. Actually, I could do this. Hold up. I could do this. I was gonna let this play, but here. Can you guys see that good? We're gonna get into the March releases. Let me catch up on chat. Speaking as of gameplay, but I prefer Horizon over Tomb Raider anyway. Yeah, Tomb Raider is different than Horizon for sure. That's a completely different experience. People were bombing. Yeah, I saw that. So far, I'm enjoying Horizon. 3.5 hours in. It's a great game. I want a PlayStation back so I can play the new one. Yeah, you need to get that for sure. Yeah, I can help keep an eye on PlayStation 5 drops. And, I used to follow a bunch when I was heavy searching for one. I followed every retailer on Twitter, every restocker bot Twitter handle, because they would just send out tweets of, hey, store so and so has some in stock. Like, you have to heavy research all the retailers, follow them all, and just keep an eye constantly, because you never know. It could be 2:30 on a Wednesday, and all of a sudden Best Buy's like, yo, we got PlayStations, and then boom, they're gone 10 minutes later. So you just always have to be on the lookout. Most reviews are from fanboys. Yeah, pretty much. Play the game and then give it an honest review. Couldn't have said it better myself. They're playing the game with fogged glasses, basically. They've already made their mind before they even turn the game on. And it's annoying. It's annoying. It's hard to trust scores nowadays. You got IGN bombing every PlayStation game and, you know, juicing up Xboxes. And then you have Game Informer bombing Xbox and juicing PlayStation. It's like, you can't, like, no matter where you look, it's a bogus score. So anyways, moving on to the meat and potatoes. And the reason why I'm doing today's podcast. We are a couple days away from March. And it made no sense for me to do this cast next weekend, having a full week of possible releases happening already. So with that being said, let's get into what's to come in March. First, we have Alex, and I've trimmed this list down quite a bit because there was some stuff on there that, quite frankly, we didn't need to say. But we have Alex 2, which is on all platforms except for Nintendo. This is dropping day 1, March 1st. We have Far Changing Tides, PlayStation 5, Xbox. Yeah, this is all platforms, including Switch and PC. Babylon's Fall. This is looking like a PlayStation exclusive with a PC version as well. And then the first heavy hitter, I would say, and this is a major release for PlayStation, Gran Turismo 7. The last Gran Turismo game I played was probably 3 when it came with my PlayStation 3, God knows how long ago. With that being said, Gran Turismo is always the best looking racing game out there. I hate how realistic it is, if that makes any sense. Like, I want it to look great, don't get me wrong. I don't want it to drive the same as it would be on a normal road, because I want to get in a dope car that looks sick and just take it on a track and go nuts with it. Like, if I hit a patch of grass, I don't want to do 900 360s and then be out of the race. Like, Gran Turismo drives me crazy sometimes with that. It's like too realistic with how slick your tires can be and whatnot. But that's dropping March 4th on PlayStation 5 and 4 only. So that's a major PlayStation exclusive release. This game's been rumored to come out for quite some time, and it's finally coming. So for all the racing fans out there, enjoy, because this game looks incredible. Love Gran Turismo, can't wait to get it. Yeah, I mean, it looks insane. I know Xbox has Forza, and Forza also looks fantastic, but I always feel like Forza comes out every other year almost, where Gran Turismo, you don't see it for years. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto in a way. Like, it'll be 7 years before you see Gran Turismo 8, probably 5 years, maybe. It could be, 5 to 7 years, like I said. So the amount of technology, the amount of advances in gaming that happen between the times in between the game, the next Grand Theft Auto is always going to look completely insane. It's just how it's gonna be. So yeah, Gran Turismo 7 looks ridiculous. So that comes out March 4th. RPG Time, Legend of Right. This is on Xbox, PC, and mobile phone, iPhone and Android. This seems like it's probably a Microsoft exclusive, I would think. Ashwalkers. This is a Switch game coming March 10th. Aztec Forgotten Gods. This is on all platforms, including Switch and PC. Chocobo GP Switch, March 10th. Chocobo, I believe, is Final Fantasy, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's a Final Fantasy bird. I haven't watched a trailer for this, so I don't really know what the game's about, but I'm pretty sure it's revolving around the Final Fantasy bird. And then a big one for me, I think it's big. I wouldn't say big. I would say it's more interesting. Assassin's Creed Dawn of Ragnarok, and this is on all platforms except for Switch. I have Valhalla still in the packaging. It's in my backlog of games to play. I'm very interested in playing it, obviously. I just haven't had the chance to, but I do love the Viking world, Norse mythology. And it's interesting that with God of War Ragnarok coming this year, Assassin's Creed Valhalla wants to drop a DLC, Dawn of Ragnarok. Capitalize on the God of War hype and steal some buys, steal some sales is what Ubisoft is thinking. But I don't fault them for that. And when I play Vikings, I'm definitely going to be getting Dawn of Ragnarok if I'm enjoying the game. Because again, Ragnarok is a dope storyline. So I'll be checking it out whenever I finally get to dive into Valhalla. And that's coming March 10th as well. There's a lot dropping March 10th. Absolutely, Spartacris says, absolutely loved Odyssey. I love ancient Rome and the whole time period. Yes, I never got to play Odyssey. I wanted to. I still might at some point, but I haven't played that yet. That was one I was very interested in. Origins looked good as well. With the Egyptian theme, but Assassin's Creed to me felt very repetitive, and I skipped Origins. I was like, it's just another Assassin's Creed game. I skipped it, and then Odyssey came out. I was very interested in Odyssey because, like you, the Roman period and how it looked and everything like that. But I never got a chance to play it. And then they came out with Valhalla, and it was all Vikings and Norse, mythology and stuff like that. And I'm like, this looks badass. I'm in. I'm back. I'm playing it. So I'm excited for that. If I enjoy it, I might go backwards and play Odyssey at some point. But I'm very, very looking forward to play Valhalla, and now more specifically Dawn of Ragnarok. So we have that to look forward to. Origins I couldn't get into. Yeah, Assassin's Creed is tough, man. It's almost like a copy pasta of Assassin's Creed year after year. Pick a location, then it's the same game. Theoretically, like, it's just sometimes I had to take a break from it. My all-time favorite Assassin's Creed game, though, hands down to me, and this is another reason why I went Valhalla, was Black Flag. Black Flag to me was the best Assassin's Creed game ever made. Being a pirate assassin was incredible. Having pirate ship battles in the middle of the water was incredible. And then what was crazy about it is you play Black Flag, and then you watch the pirate show that was on Stars a few years ago, Black Sails, and it was like you were basically watching like Assassin's Creed Black Flag in live action. It was awesome. The whole thing, it was just awesome to me. And it's funny, shout out to my boy Trigun, his pops. He's ranked number 1 in the world in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Yo, Black Sails was incredible. But yeah, so Trigun's dad is ranked number 1 in the world in hours played, points, score, whatever. So he rocked the hell out of that game. So shout out to him. Black Flag is my favorite, and part of the reason why I wanted Valhalla is because I think there is Viking ship battles in it as well. So it's sucking me back into the Assassin's Creed world, and I can't wait. Love Black Flag, but Odyssey was so much better. That's awesome. So I have something to look forward to when I go play Odyssey. I just put in a ton of time on Black Flag. I love that game. Black Flag on Switch is the best way to play. Yeah, I mean, if it was free, maybe. I can't see myself buying the game again, but that's just me. But yeah, so March 10th, moving on. WWE 2K22. This is dropping on all platforms except for the Switch on March 11th. Interesting enough, Machine Gun Kelly is a playable character. Don't know why. I've missed the last few weeks of Raw. Has he been on TV? Is he a character in the WWE now? For some reason, Machine Gun Kelly's gonna be in this game. But hey, if you're a fan, you have that to look forward to. I don't know. That's coming March 11th. Now, in my opinion, the greatest game in our generation right now, in 2 generations, in 3 generations, maybe. Grand Theft Auto 5. MGK is in charge of the soundtrack for the game. That makes sense. Thank you for that. Did not know that. So that makes perfect sense then. It was a little tribute to him. Good shit. Grand Theft Auto 5 drops May 15th. This is, again, another updated version to be compatible with the new gen consoles. It's the game that keeps on coming back and never going away. I've had Grand Theft Auto on my PlayStation 3. I've had it on my PlayStation 4. And I'm going to have it on my PlayStation 5. I also have it on my PC. There's not one game that's sold more copies than Grand Theft Auto 5. It's just, they've made so much money. I missed MGK's in charge with what? The soundtrack for WWE 2K22. That's why he's going to be a playable character. So yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5, they're having the upgraded versions for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And then they're also dropping GTA Online and making it a separate download. So if you've already beaten the story and you want nothing to do with the story, you can at least download the online portion and save up God knows what, 70 gigs worth of hard drive space. You know, I have never played GTA 5. I'm dead serious. That's hard. That's crazy. Because it's been on 3 different consoles. We are in the 3rd generation of Grand Theft Auto 5. It's lasted from PlayStation 3, 360, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and now we're getting a new version of the same game March 15th on PS5 and Series X with an updated GTA Online experience. They've already dropped the contract DLC on online, which actually included story missions in the online world, which is pretty cool. It was all about Dr. Dre. If you love Dr. Dre's music, it was a very, very cool mini campaign for the online world. But yeah, this game just continues to make money, and it's the reason why Rockstar is not rushing GTA 6, because it just continues to be a cash cow. The last one I played was GTA 4 for the 360, yeah, which I loved. It's maybe because I'm a New Yorker and Liberty City is just my favorite city to play, but I love GTA 4, and the DLCs were awesome. Ballad for Gay Tony, and what was it, Lost of the Damned or something like that. Those DLCs are fantastic story expansions. But yeah, so March 15th, GTA 5 is getting upgraded. It's getting bumped up to 60 frames and looking pretty. We have Tunic coming March 16th, which is an Xbox exclusive and also on PC. Persona 4 Arena, which is coming to PlayStation 4 only, and the Switch and PC. It's not coming to PlayStation 5 and I guess Xbox as well. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. It's a new Final Fantasy story to explore, and this is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Rune Factory 5 is a Switch exclusive, March 22nd. Final Fantasy, March 18th. I don't know if I said that. A Memoir Blue. It's on all platforms, coming March 24th. The Ascent is a PlayStation exclusive, also coming March 24th. A game I'm looking forward to is Ghostwire Tokyo. Game's looking kind of funky, but in a cool way. I'm very curious how this game is going to be. This is dropping March 25th. It's a PlayStation exclusive. It's a PS5 exclusive, not coming to the 4. And it's also going to be on PC. So look for that on Steam, I would imagine. Nintendo Switch has a major exclusive dropping, and that's Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That is coming. March 25th. Kirby's always a major IP for Nintendo, so that should do well for them. Red Dead Revolver will be the next Rockstar release. No, GTA 6 for sure. The game's already in production. It's already in production, and from what I'm hearing, we're gonna get a trailer or a teaser and a release date of some sort later this year. That's what I'm hearing. And then maybe Red Dead 3 will be a couple years from now. I don't know. Rockstar always likes to take 5 years or more to make a game. They never drop a game a couple years after another. They take their time. They allocate all their resources to one game and then move on to the next game. Another major release is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. This is coming on all platforms except for the Switch. This is a Borderlands story. I think it's acting as a separate game, I believe, but it's going to be like a branch off of Borderlands 3, basically. Crusader Kings 3, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. That is coming March 29th. Then we have Death Stranding Director's Cut. And that's finally making its PC debut, I believe, on March 30th. Starship Troopers Terran Command on PC March 31st. And then to close it out, we have Weird West on all platforms except for the Switch. And that's March 21st or 31st. Sorry. I can't wait for Tiny Tina. Borderlands is so much fun. I always love the art style of Borderland games. Butters. Always love the art style. it was always cool to me. Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for all the games coming out in March. If you are listening on YouTube, drop in the comments what game you are looking forward to the most. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. And let's go down to the last couple of items, which is basically my thoughts on the list, I guess. Here's a few that I'm looking forward to playing the most out of March. That's going to be GTA 5's upgraded version, to see what changed and see what kind of story missions they might have added. Ghostwire Tokyo. The game just looks interesting to me. And Valhalla Dawn of Ragnarok, Assassin's Creed. Those are what I'm looking forward to play the most. The few that I think will sell extremely well is Kirby, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Ghostwire, GTA because it always sells, and Gran Turismo 7. Those games are just gonna do extremely well for their publishers, for their developers. I think they're gonna sell a lot for sure. Butter says, I love Borderlands because it is not your typical shooter. It's open world shooter, and I love the story of the game. Yep. I agree. It's a looter shooter. There's not many of them around. Destiny would be the closest thing to Borderlands as far as being a first-person looter shooter. And then Division is third person, so that doesn't really match up, but the basics of the game being a looter shooter is kind of similar. And yeah, so I would say those are the few that are going to sell extremely well. And then the honorable mentions, I would say Death Stranding for the director's cut for PC is probably going to generate some sales. That game just, in my opinion, was a bust on PlayStation. Maybe it'll do better on PC, but I don't know. That one's kind of wishy-washy. WWE 2K22 I think is going to sell well. WWE games always seem to sell. There's a lot of wrestling fans out there, including myself. Even though I don't buy the game, it always looks fun. It's just something I don't know. It's hard to playing wrestling games. To me, was sitting on a couch with the homies and just having like a tag team match or a battle royale or something, playing WCW versus NWO or WrestleMania 2000, like the glory days of wrestling games. And nowadays, I don't know, I just not into it as much, but there's still a shit ton of fans out there who are going to buy this game, so that's why it's an honorable mention. Babylon's Fall, I believe, will do pretty well, and Tunic being an Xbox exclusive, that should also again, you know what, it's hard to judge. Tunic will probably get a lot of downloads because it'll just be downloaded on Game Pass, but it's probably not going to generate a lot of sales. That's the problem. That's kind of what we've been talking about with Game Pass. Game Pass is too good because nobody's buying their games. They're just downloading them. And I don't know. It's hard to see where they're getting their money. $10 subscription sales can't be paying for all these games. There's a lot going into it. Paying actors, paying the artists, the coders, the networking people if it's a multiplayer. Like, it's just insane. Fire Pro Wrestling is hands down the best series ever, best custom wrestler game ever, wrestler system ever. I never heard of that actually. I'd have to look into that. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you with gaming. We tackled quite a bit of topics, and we knocked out what's to come in March. Just to tackle a couple little things in the entertainment world. Ozark is the part 2 of Ozark season 4 is apparently dropping April 29th. So if you've binge watched part 1, the first 7 episodes, like I have, and are itching to see what happens next, how this whole series comes to a close, it's coming a lot sooner than expected. That's at April 29th. So we have that to look forward to. There's also rumblings and rumors that Thor Love and Thunder is dropping a trailer possibly this week. Because we're apparently the way timing goes in the MCU compared to where the movie's releasing, we're in that time frame of the first trailer drop, and rumor is we might be getting it this week. So if that's true, look for me and the boys to spaz out and go crazy, and get ready to see a reaction video, that's for sure. And then there was one more thing in the entertainment world that I wanted to mention. I can't think of. I forgot. I wrote everything down except for this one thing, and I'm forgetting it. It's driving me crazy. Shoot. I don't know. If I think of it, I'll have to bring it up the next episode. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for us. I know the captain is ready to go live with the Call of Duty tournament. So stay tuned on the channel. I'm going to take the stream offline, and if you wait a couple minutes, John, the captain will kick the stream back on with his point of view and getting ready. Oh yeah, yes, thank you. That was it. Batman is coming out, and they're saying Batman is going to be more of an origin story for the villains rather than for Batman, which is cool. It's a cool thing. It's going to be an origin story for the Penguin, the Riddler, and Catwoman. So we'll see. I want to watch Batman for the Riddler specifically. He's the most exciting character to me to see play out. But yeah, so I can keep rambling on and on. This was episode 2 of the Multiversal podcast. I appreciate everybody listening. If you were listening on our podcast platforms, if you were listening on YouTube, Twitch, watching on YouTube and Twitch, make sure you drop a follow on Twitch if you haven't. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on on your favorite podcast platform. We are coming here, dropping episodes weekly. We have the theater room every week. We have Warped Minds and Whiskey coming soon with Spartacris and One Shot. And then, of course, bi-weekly from here on out, we have the Multiversal podcast. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. And that's episode 2. It's a wrap. We'll see you next time.